people? I was going to look at that one. Yeah.
That's fucking everybody up.
Yeah, everything's all fucked up. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Uninfluenced. So due to the algorithms, we're going to try not to fucking cuss in the next 5 fucking minutes. Thank you.
We're going to fucking try.
Yeah, algorithms.
It's good.
Hashtag algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag these nuts. So, lately, a lot of the comments are, hey, y'all take a week to edit, blah, 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 y'all record a week back. And for those of y'all that don't know, we record a week back. We're not a political show. We do share our opinions on what's going on, and it may be a week back. We even say, we don't know what'll be happening a week from now. So we're not really political. We'll always share our views and our thoughts on everything. But we didn't start this out thinking, you know what, we want to go compete with CNN and Fox and Sky News Australia. Them people are funny as fuck. If
Al Jazeera.
Yeah. If y'all aren't watching Sky News fucking Australia, y'all are fucking up. That fat white dude on there is funny.
The other thing too that we've shared our opinions on politics from the start of the show. Pretty much every show there will be something. Mm-hmm. What's unique about right now is just how dynamic the situation specifically in Afghanistan is and how fast things are changing. That's why it seems like we're so far behind, because so many things are happening. It's, we're not releasing it any later than we ever have, and nobody's bitched about it before. Yeah. And on that, that's just the reality of it. Matt has a full-time business and businesses, so do I, that aren't this show. The show isn't what pays our bills and keeps the lights on. So while we hear you, the reality is that you're going to get it a week late, and that's just how it is. So if that's too fucking slow for you, feel free to watch a funny cat video on YouTube instead. But, but that's the fucking deal. So if you don't like it, start your own show and edit it and drop one every fucking day if that makes you feel better.
Or visit either of our Patreons, sign up, donate, and the more money y'all give us, the easier we can come in.
Yeah.
Hit that donate button in the live chat.
Yeah, if there was enough people making it to where this was our full-time gig and this is what we did for a living, then we'd drop videos every day, every other day.
Yeah.
Every couple days at the slowest, but that's not the case. So
we'd be like the Hodge twins, only not twins at all.
And not black.
And not black.
Because we're not black. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I mean, I recognize as black. Yeah. I mean, I just have to. I have to. On that note, and another thing, I mentioned this in a comment yesterday, people bring up the dog stranded in Afghanistan. And if we were like the news and everybody else and we just jumped on a story that we heard or whatnot, we'd do like the news and not be able to come at you with full facts. And first time it dropped, it was the military left 47 dogs, then it's 51 dogs. Then come to find out it's some contractor left them with a lady there, and they were I'm pretty sure they're already flown out by now from what I read. But you might know.
Well, so everybody wants to know my thoughts on it, and anybody that follows me on social media, you'll notice that I haven't posted about it, and that's why. When the story first broke, my initial thoughts were something doesn't seem right, and there's a couple reasons. One is that there was a specific amount of money being raised, $1.6 million, by an organization that was fairly new with very, very little following. As well as no clear-cut plan as to how that 1.6 is going to be spent. And to me, I'm part of a nonprofit and have been. It's one that I started or founded. Now it's run by a board of directors and what have you. But I'm still responsible for taking care of the dogs. And I can tell you that in the nonprofit space, you should know where your money's going. You should know what the percent rating is in terms of, this percent of every dollar goes to the actual mission. All nonprofits, have some money that needs to be allocated for staff, for logistics, for administrative stuff, for bookkeeping, for attorneys. I mean, it's run just like a business in terms of the expenses. But anyway, that's an important component, as well as, what the plan is for how you're going to get them out. I mean, if you're setting up a GoFundMe with a specific number like that, I want to know what your plan is to get them out, because I can tell you from experience that's a big goddamn challenge, going and getting those dogs out. I don't care how much money you have. I want to know how you're going to do it, because it's not going to be easy, and especially further now that U.S. forces are gone. There is no way. It's not like you can just buy a plane ticket and fly into Kaya. You can't do it, So, and good luck driving across the border. You're going to wind up on video getting your head cut off. So, to me, that was another big red flag. They wouldn't announce who the contractor was that the dog supposedly belonged to. Well, that's another big red flag. To me, there's only one reason why you would do that, and it's bullshit. Because if there is a contractor, let's say it's contractor Acme Contractor Company has the contract there. That's verifiable, right? You can go find, whether it's Fed Biz Ops or through the Freedom of Information Act, you should be able to find out if that's accurate, if they are in fact holding that contract, and if they are, the amount of social pressure that if everybody found out who that was, like, it would be in that contractor's best interest, just from a damage control standpoint at that point, to do every fucking thing they can now that they've been outed to get those dogs out of there, right? The only reason you don't share that, and they said, we're not going to share it until after the dogs are out. Well, there's no good reason to do that, right? So that's another red flag. And so, when I look at all of those things combined, and plus with the industry that I'm in and the nonprofit space that I'm a part of, it's not a very big community, and so when I saw that, like, it looks staged, there's spilled dog food and empty water bottles scattered all over the fucking place. Like, again, you can pick that shit up, like to me, that's done trying to make it look dire. It's the same thing as when you see some little Sudanese kid sitting in a mud puddle with flies crawling in the corner of his fucking eyes. Like, you can clean that kid up and not do that. They do that for a reason, to tug at your fucking heartstrings. So all of those things combined, it just didn't add up to me. Even if it did all add up, I'm still going to verify that that's fucking accurate before I put a motherfucker on blast on social media that way. And that's one of our society's biggest problems, is you see something that makes you emotional and you respond. I can tell you, without question, when you respond based on emotion and not on logic and reason, it's almost always wrong. Almost always. At a minimum, it's overblown and exaggerated. You never want to fucking respond when you're emotional about something. Stop, do whatever you need to do to calm yourself the fuck down and ask yourself, does this make sense, before you go to blasting people and trying to save the fucking world. Now, what are my thoughts on that actually happening? Like, can that happen? Yeah, I still don't know, and I've gone through every fucking official channel that I can go through to find out if that's accurate, and there's still nothing verified, okay? I'm not saying it's a scam, I'm not saying it's total bullshit, but I can tell you that if I can't find out that that's accurate after a week and change of trying to find out, there's a really, really high probability that it's a total bullshit story. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. I know enough people in the industry where I think I would be able to figure it out, and there's been nothing. So I've heard, at first they were U.S. military dogs, and then it's contractor dogs, and then it's just this animal rescue. It's actually some UK contract working dogs. And the fact is, nobody has been able to prove any of that. There's been a couple short video clips of dogs walking around loose on a fucking tarmac, and there's 3 or 4 pictures that are being used over and over and over. There's no new updates, which is another red flag, is that if you're in touch with somebody on the ground and have the capability to actually rescue these dogs, there should be constant proof of life and situation updates, even if it's just grainy flip phone pictures. There should be something, and there was none of that. So yes, if that was the case, where dogs were being left like that, of course it would be, I would be jumping through my ass and be really pissed off and do everything I can to try to help. But it's a tough situation, in that if the U.S. military bails out on its own people, the prospect of getting dogs out is going to be real fucking slim. If they're willing to leave our own citizens there, they clearly are not going to give a fuck about dogs. I've also heard that whose ever dogs they were, that they had the opportunity and that they were denied, is that basically our State Department said, no, we're not bringing those dogs to America. I don't know if that's accurate either. Again, there's a lot of mudslinging and bullshit, and there's on both sides there's reasons to defend. You know, there's people that are super pro this administration and will do whatever they can to defend their actions and make it look like it's not what it seems. And then on the other side, there's people that are just looking for a reason to be able to pile one more thing on to be pissed about in terms of how this was handled. In both cases, those are biased opinions. You know, you should be looking for just the facts of the matter, what actually took place, and then go from there in terms of how to solve it. So I think, and I hope, that this is a lesson in patience, in that in everybody, yes, time is of the essence, and when things are an emergency like that, you've got to act quick, but you have to make sure that it's accurate, and you have to make sure that what you're doing is based off of accurate information, because if it's not, then you're just making shit worse. So that's my take on it. It's still fucking fuzzy. Maybe 2 months from now, when this video airs, for you assholes that are impatient, maybe there will be more information. I don't know, but anyway, that's my take on it.
And that's why we wait a week, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many fucking questions I got. Emails, social media messages.
I made 6 accounts for that.
Yeah. What's your take? Is this accurate? Tell me this isn't true. All this other shit. And I responded to as many of them as I could. There's a lot of them I couldn't get to. I mean, there was literally thousands of them. And the reason I didn't post anything again is until I understand what exactly is going on, I'm not going to share my opinion. And I've done that with other super controversial things. People are like, why aren't you saying anything? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And unlike most blowhard mouthpiece dipshits out there that are willing to spout off, their opinion on something that they don't have a full understanding of, I'm just not going to do that. And I'm going to try to never do that. I can't promise that I'm never going to do that. I may get caught up in emotional bullshit. I hope not. I try not to. But I wish that everybody did that. There'd be a lot less inaccurate, mudslinging political bullshit out there that just spins people up and pisses them off for no goddamn reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Preach. Yeah. So that's all the politics for today, bitches. Today we're getting back to the basics of what Uninfluenced is. Yes, we do share our views on what we think of current situations, usually a week back, bitches. But we love cars, and that's what we do. We talk cars, we talk bitches in cars, and then we talk, of course, dogs, because Mike trains dogs. We really don't talk plumbing because nobody wants to talk about shit. Other than that, I did fix our plumbing at the studio.
Damn right. Now we can take a big shit.
Now we can shit. Yeah.
What was the problem? Because it felt like you'd fixed everything, right? Like you had it working here. I don't know if we talked about this in the show before, but
but basically, I had a employee come in. He took a shit, and he fucked the whole sewer system up.
This wasn't me, to be clear.
No, it was
allegedly.
It was a plumbing employee, but I know I've used the bathroom here, you've used the bathroom here, and we've never had an issue. Then all of a sudden, this little bitty bastard comes in and takes a shit here.
Takes a monster buffalo-sized dump.
Yeah, and then for 2 weeks, our sewer was stopped up because we're so busy, I couldn't get a truck over here. And some of y'all say, well, why didn't you clean it? Here's why. Sewer machines that I use are about $1,200, and I wasn't going to buy a $1,200 machine to use one time. So, fuck off.
It's almost like we're having conversations with ourselves now, knowing what you guys are going to say to some of this shit.
Yeah, we're answering the questions that you have, but still, you can put a comment.
That's right.
We like comments. It helps the algorithm.
We do.
And there's that one guy who always posts algorithm. And about,
an algorithm. You put the anal back in an algorithm.
Yes. Yes. 100 motherfucking %.
Why did I laugh at that?
Because you're, 26, 27? You're still a child, basically.
Yeah.
Farts are still funny. Farts are always funny.
Farts will always be funny.
My wife said the other night I was fucking blowing ass all over her leg.
Giving her pink knee?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
She said, I don't know how you hotboxed me and my head was out of the cover. Like, yeah, bitch.
You're over there wafting it?
Yeah.
You ever bust ass when she's going down on you? You ever done that to her?
Uh-uh. Is that a good one?
I've not done it, but I mean, if you're willing to fucking crop dust her leg.
Well, I was asleep.
Oh, I got you.
We've been together like, what, 3-4 years now.
The honeymoon's over as far as that goes.
Yeah, but I still, for some reason, and it's weird, like my body knows when I'm in public and won't let me shit in public. It's fucking weird. Like if I know I'm heading home or gonna be home, my body's like, nope, and sucks it up. Here is a safe place and I can shit here.
Yeah.
If I know, like if we're traveling and I'm going to a hotel, I won't shit at any gas station between here and wherever we're going. As soon as we get to the hotel, it's like my body knows, oh, this is home for 3 days, but you better shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, but I don't fart in front of her.
Do you shit with the door open?
No. But now when I go upstairs in one of the other rooms where she ain't around, I let freedom ring. I just fucking, it's like the only time I've ever heard her bust ass is she's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I didn't hear. I was doing something, and I walk into the bathroom and you hear that fart echoing through the porcelain. And I just started laughing my ass off. And she's like, are you in here? Nah, bitch.
Like, no, that laughing's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's the dogs. The dogs are laughing at you. Yeah.
So did it? How long did you not shit when you were in county jail? Was it days before you took your first shit?
Dude, it was 6 days.
Yeah, it was that way for boot camp for me. I didn't shit for like the first almost 10 days I was there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I didn't even think about it either. It was, about a week in it, I was like, motherfucker, I haven't shit the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
But.
Usually when you do shit after those extended periods of times, it hurts.
Yeah.
It fucking hurts. It's like that fucking right there at the little shutoff valve. It's just clogged up.
Yeah.
It's like you just got a fucking shit missile that comes out and fucks your shit up.
Here's a question. Did you jerk off when you were in county?
No.
Yeah.
But here's what's fucked up. So right when you go into county, and I'm sure it's like this in all jails, you go to county, and I went to go take a shower, and I hadn't had commissary at this point, and the dude's like, nah, bro, use my flip-flops. Also take the trash can lid. Stand in the trash can lid with my flip-flops. He said, you don't shower in this dirty motherfucker. And then he just starts pointing. There's 30 dudes in that cell with you. And he's like, I know that motherfucker's over there busting nuts in the shower. I know this motherfucker's busting nuts in the shower. Yeah, it's I'm real particular about where I'll bust nuts.
Same thing like in boot camp. A lot of guys did. Like you'd catch guys. I mean, it's an open bay. There's 200 fucking dudes all in one big room. In bunk beds and in a long ass row on one side, a long ass row on the other side, and yeah, I mean, like you'd get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, or you're on the watch rotation where you're having to walk around for 2-hour periods throughout the night or whatever. And it's not like you can hide it. I mean, you can see dudes fucking boxing the fucking clown under their goddamn sheets. But I never did. Like the whole time I was there, like I just, similarly to shitting, like I just didn't even think about it. I had absolutely no fucking desire to jerk off when I was in boot camp. And that was 2 months.
Yeah.
To this day, that's the longest I've ever gone without fucking shooting a load. But and it was weird. The first one afterward, it felt like my fucking sack exploded.
Yeah, that shit hurts. If you wait a while, like there's a reason me and my wife can't have sex right now, and you know what it is. But she looked at me and she's like, I'm sorry, we can't. And she's still handling business other ways. But I was like, babe, you don't even have to worry about it. I've been 13 years without sex before. She looked at me when? From birth to 13. Yeah. I didn't have no sex.
Wow.
And so.
You would take credit for that.
Yeah. You got to take advantage. That's that day I told her, I said, I'm on a fucking roll today. Every time she said something, I had to come back, and she's like, yeah, you need a release or something. You're a smart ass right now.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna do something for y'all. I'm gonna circle back later to talking about the ladies.
Never tell Matt Holden you don't like a phrase. My God.
Circle back.
It's working into everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna circle back to this later.
Actually, she hasn't been saying that lately. I think enough people bust her fucking chops about it.
That's because people telling her you need to circle back to the unemployment line, bitch. Start over.
Does anybody like generic corporate slang bullshit like that? Like you hear it all the time in office buildings.
Higher ups do.
Yeah, corporate people.
Unpack.
Right? They love it. It's gross.
What's the delta?
That's right.
Like, you can't use the word difference.
Yeah.
You gotta go delta on that.
Right. This is really a bespoke situation, and
Yeah.
we're going to need to, analyze all angles, like just garbage, like stuff that just doesn't mean anything, right? Like just nonsense speak, like that adults say because it sounds big. It's the worst.
I mean, well, it's like the pathetic version of adult corporate slang, like in or not the version of adult corporate slang. Adult corporate slang is the version of like high school, slang that's really popular for a few months, and then you're a total dipshit for using it.
Total garbage doesn't mean anything.
It's the same fucking thing, and it's equally goddamn ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. It's so absurd. Political theater. Boy.
I was never good at the office stuff. Even when I was doing higher end sales and stuff like that, I was never the guy that went in and, I mean, if I had to be professional, I was professional, because I can flip that switch. But for the most part, a lot of those people that are real high up, they want that guy to come in and treat them normal.
Yeah.
Instead of just totally
Hey, Bob.
kissing their ass. Yeah. My name's not Bob, it's James. You're going by Bob today.
Yeah.
I already
Well, it's
did my
just
write
usually,
up.
Mr. fucking whatever,
Yeah.
or President fucking so and so. Like,
When people ask, you've heard me, when people ask how you doing, I tell them terrible.
Yeah.
And I learned that after about a week in sales, outside sales. You'd go into a place, you'd go to the secretary, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm here to see so-and-so. Oh, he's busy. Bitch, you didn't even check.
yeah,
And you go back to the same lady, and then one time I was just in a fucked up mood, and I walk in the same fucking place. I walk in, and she's like, how you doing? I'm fucking terrible. Really, baby, what's going on?
now she's all fucking wants to help you
we
out.
sit there for 20 minutes. I'm going to go see if he's in. And walks back, and I was like, son of a bitch. So the next place I went to, I tried that again. And I shit you not, I'll be at the grocery store. How you doing? Terrible. Oh, no. What? They'll stop doing my groceries and shit. Oh, no. What's going
Because
on?
nobody ever says that.
No.
It's always, I'm good.
Yeah.
Even when they're not.
Yeah. Motherfucker buying bullets, duct tape, and rope. Come out. I'm good.
Sack of lime and some tarps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that refreshing honesty that, oh, shit, life isn't always good? Nah, bitch, it's fucking terrible.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And then sometimes you got to make shit up.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, the condom busted, and I don't know.
You told that to the secretary?
No. No.
Just lay that out on a
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon?
Yeah. What happened? Oh, the condom busted. How long ago? She's 16.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My God.
It's been fucked up.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's my daughter's birthday today.
Is it?
Happy birthday.
Yeah. She don't listen to the show or nothing. She's an
Well,
asshole.
I mean,
She might. That's what's fucked up.
she doesn't want to hear her dad talk about all this stuff.
No, well, it wouldn't be a surprise, honestly. Because same with the way Mike is, I'm not going to shelter my kids too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'll shelter them from really fucked up shit, but I want them to know the world's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't want them to think, oh, it's roses, fuck that. No, the world sucks.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to make your life the way it is. If I sit here and sugarcoat it, by the time you turn 18 and you go try to live your life, and the motherfucker send you a water bill for $400, you're like, I thought water was free.
Yeah.
No, hell no.
Yeah, realize there's going to be people that you meet that are nice to you that are trying to fuck you over, and they need to know that. Like if the first time that they even understand that concept exists is when it happens, they're going to be up shit creek, and they're just going to be at a disadvantage in life as an adult.
Yeah.
So
I had to let her know, and we've talked about it a few times, and for all you new listeners that are females, that guy you have that wants to be your friend, he don't. He just wants in your guts.
he does not want to be your friend.
Or he's
Oh,
gay.
he's a really nice guy. No, he isn't.
Yeah. But he's married.
Yeah.
He don't care.
Yeah.
He's probably thought of the same excuse I've used before. I'm married, you're married, we both said vows. We never said names in the middle of them.
Wow.
We're still good.
Is that a real? Does that really work? Is that a loophole?
Yeah.
Wow.
Zach's going
Everything's
to
a
be at
loophole.
fucking Home Depot later today. So I see you're married.
Yeah.
right.
I'm married. You're married.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't say his names in the vows.
I also see you're checking out that wood girl.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta teach him that. But yeah, the fucking guy that wants to be a friend,
Yeah, no,
he
that's
doesn't want to be a friend.
no.
No guys want to be friends with chicks.
No.
Unless they want to fuck them.
Yeah,
Or they're gay.
Or they're gay. That's it.
I mean, that's it. Like,
That's the only reason.
regular fucking dudes don't want chicks as good friends.
No.
I mean, they really don't. Like,
That's right.
or if they do, it's like, well, that's the consolation prize for you putting them in the friend zone. you know, and maybe they'll put up with that for a certain amount of time, hoping that you'll change your mind or that you can charm your way into their fucking pants. But that's the case. Like,
and the first time you're drunk and nobody's around, that motherfucker gonna try to get in them guts.
yeah,
That's right.
And
or
Danny,
he'll start talking about shopping.
and you know Danny's probably in the chat right now talking about, but I work with a bunch of guys. They want to be my friend. No, they don't, Danny. They're waiting to walk in on you in the bathroom, somehow butt-ass naked.
drunk,
At
work,
at drunk. Yeah, at drunk. At drunk. Yeah, at work.
Or maybe they're gay.
And or you get that one guy friend who's like, okay, I don't want to put it in your pussy. I don't want to put it in your mouth. Let me just put it in your ear so you can hear me coming. You know, there's weird shit dudes say.
let me just fuck your feet.
Yeah.
Good
What?
Lord.
Yeah. We're just prepping you guys for the real world.
That's right.
That's right.
So we are going to circle back to this.
Man.
This motherfucker.
So, do we want to talk about how you trick fucked me last week?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't even know what this is, and I'm into it.
I'm going to let you tell the story while I refresh my fucking drink.
Yeah.
You get started.
Yeah,
you
what's-
keep
yeah.
rolling.
What's going on?
So, we all know, and the Thing 2.0 is about to be revealed. Some of you have got really close with it. It is broke in, although Mike picks up nails and screws everywhere he goes, so he's getting new tires. So we haven't got to do the full review. But I go drive it, as you guys know, we talked about it. And we do the whole show, and he's like, oh man, what'd you think? And I told y'all the nickname for it. It's Holy Fuck, if it's Asian.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody leaves, and he's like, okay, I got to admit something to you. It's tuned. You motherfucker. And him and my wife, he's like, you couldn't tell the difference? My wife, you couldn't tell the difference? And I'm like, you motherfuckers really don't believe when I told you I didn't speed when I drove it the first time. I literally went 80 miles an hour, babied the car, and I knew they thought I fucking floored his shit.
Yeah.
But
No, I didn't think that. For me, it was that there's a big enough difference between its stock, even though it's really fast stock.
yeah,
There's a big enough difference to where, like, as you know, take the butt dyno for example. Like, you know, I know you've been in enough fast cars, stock and tuned, to know that like that can't be what that's advertised horsepower.
well, the whistling, because it does seem to whistle more. That kind of threw me for a loop, and I was like, what the fuck? But I didn't drive it in that setting. And when I say I drove it slow, I literally, that thing was in 8th gear driving
30
down.
miles an hour.
Dude, I was babying that car, because my thought was, I jump in the car, I move the seat, I move the mirrors, I change the radio station. I didn't set shit else. I didn't adjust the steering wheel. I didn't do shit else. The only reason I moved those so I could see, because it was a far drive. If it was a close drive, I'd have probably drove that bitch how they delivered it. You just fucking sitting like this. But I wanted you to have that full setup, you know, that first time setup, and it was like, shit, I'm a baby the fuck out of this car. Like, if I could, I probably would have slowed down if the engine got hot and just let it cool off. But
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate it. I did the same thing. I mean, I spent a couple tanks of gas fucking being easy on it, but that shit's out the window this afternoon with those new tires on it, I'll tell you that.
that motherfucker is fast. And some of you guys, like I said, some of y'all have been really close. There's 4 circles in the group, things like that. And they've got really close.
Yeah.
But no one's hit the nail quite on the head yet, but really close. I say that. No, someone did. Someone did, maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly. Who knows? Okay, it's a Urus. I'm just kidding. It's not. Yeah, so I drove his shit, and it was fast as fuck. And, man, I need one of those in my life.
You damn sure do.
I got a new daily as well. And my question today when I was driving, because, again, we've talked about break-in. We've had mechanics, drive it like you would the whole time. The vehicle I got, and we'll do a little review on it later, but it's just a BMW X5M competition. I put a tank of gas through it, and this morning I hammered the shit out of that thing all the way here, because when I get here, it's 5:36 in the morning, so no one's on our roads. That's a damn good time to be awake. And I drove the shit out of it. Fuck, there was one road I had it up to 125. Oh shit! Just hauling ass.
Out here you did?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
And it handled like a champ. So I'm sitting there thinking, did I fuck up selling the Audi and getting this? And some people are surprised. Some of you that guessed RSQ8, that's what Mike got, and I revealed it in episode 38. Kick-ass work going back and checking, but we were never hiding it. Mike got an RSQ8. We never reviewed it because we already reviewed mine on the channel.
Yeah, I've had it for 4 months. Probably.
Yeah, it's but they're badass cars. They're great cars, and we've both said it before. The BMW X5M and even the X6. I don't know. The X6 not as sporty, but the back end is the most aggressive SUV on the market. Even the front of them look just fucking mean.
To me, it's the best looking SUV out there.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the body styling is above the Urus because the Urus is aggressive, but this one looks aggressive and classy.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there thinking, did I fuck up? I didn't give up anything for comfort.
Yeah.
I got probably nicer seats. Like that shit I was showing you that it does with the back.
Yeah.
BMW has this thing for y'all that don't know, the top quarter or top half will curve into you as well. So you can sit there and literally make your seat a C. You know, if you got a fucked up spine or you're not into sitting straight up, so you can make that seat hug you. Fuck, it's got remote start. Yeah. You can literally hit the button 3 times. Most German cars don't have that shit at all. Or you got to get on an app, fucking go to your Facebook, then you got to talk to someone at Audi. They'll customer service, they'll start the car for you. It's pain in the dick.
To me, there's absolutely no loss of anything in that swap. I mean, the only potential I think you run into with BMW maybe over Audi is reliability.
Yeah.
Not that BMW is terrible with it, but they are not as reliable historically as Audis. But you know, the nice thing is you're not going to do anything to it that's going to fuck the warranty, and that's what the warranty's for. I mean, it's what, 4-year, 50,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, there's no way you're going to have it 4 years.
I might.
I doubt you'll have it 50,000 miles.
No.
You know, so.
I was surprised when the RSQ8 had 10,000 miles on it. I was like, I've never had a car with this many miles.
Yeah, so, I mean, no, I mean, if anything, you picked up performance for sure, because it's got more horsepower. I mean, it's a faster car, no two ways about it. And it's even more practical. The cargo room in the back is a lot more. You can fit. I mean, I looked at them, you know, before I got the RSQ8. The back in there will fit a size 500 crate. That's the big airline crate that we'll typically use to import dogs from overseas. The Very Kennel 500 is the model name. It's a big fucking crate. It will not fit in the RSQ8. And not even close, really. And it fits no fucking problem in that thing. You know, I mean, with even room to spare.
Yeah, it's very roomy, and the options it has, they're right there. And then the sound systems, I mean, it's the same fucking company that makes the sound systems for that one. The top sound system for stock is 100% Thing 2.0. The people who make that, bar none, the best sound systems you can get in a stock car. So yeah, I don't feel, especially being able to get on it, feel I gave up anything. Something we've been talking about a lot more lately, and it'll kind of tie into something I'm going to bring up, is handling and speed of a car. So a lot of people nowadays are thinking horsepower. Horsepower is great, but how is that horsepower used? And here's the kicker. So I bought 2 SUVs. My wife got a new one, I got a new one. Hers is the X3M Comp, the baby car. It's actually faster to, about 100 miles an hour than the X5.
Yeah.
So it's faster, it's smaller, but that little thing, I mean, we went to dinner in it 2 times, and I drove that motherfucker like the repo man was behind me trying to take the car. I drove it like an asshole, and it felt fast as hell. Yeah. And we went and did draggy test runs, and surprisingly, it wasn't as quick as it felt. And that's what's cool about some cars, and we've talked about it. handling and how power is delivered. A smaller horsepower car sometimes can deliver power that feels better than a high horsepower car.
Yeah.
And it's just great.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that makes all the difference in the world. You know, I think a GT4 or an M4 or, you know, the X3M or, fuck, for that matter, even the Pista. I mean, there's plenty of cars that are a lot faster. You know, I'll take, you know, my personal experience with the R8. The R8 was a lot faster than the Pista in a straight line, but it doesn't feel like it, you know. Or I would say the Pista doesn't feel slower.
No, it doesn't.
You know, because of how it's delivered and just how connected to the road, the way that it handles, you know. And at the end of the day, like when you boil it down to the connection to the road and just the overall driving experience, that's what matters more than anything, you know. And if you get out of that car with a big fucking smile on your face, that's the most important part of it, because I mean, let's be honest, like all of them, you know, we get them and spend what we spend on them above and beyond just daily commuter cars for one fucking reason, and that's to enjoy them.
Yep.
You know, so I don't give a fuck how fast you're going. If you're not enjoying it, then, you know, that's wasted money in my opinion, you know. And that's why, I mean, I had the Pista and the R8 at the same time, and I sold the R8 because I was never driving it.
Yeah.
You know, now the nice thing is with the Thing 2.0 is that the contrast that it provides to the Pista is perfect. You know, the R8 was too similar to the Ferrari for me to keep it. You know, because it was, if I'm going to go for a drive, excuse me, I got to pick one. I'm always taking the Pista because it's the better car.
Yeah.
In this case, because of practicality, and I think that's the one use or descriptive word that I use that's thrown people off is that I called the Thing 2.0 practical. I want to caveat that with it's practical for what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't necessarily consider it a practical car in the wide scope of all the cars out there. For what it is, performance-wise, and in the space that it's in, or segment, I guess you'd call it, in the segment of the other cars that you would compare it to, performance, price-wise, et cetera, it's very practical for that segment.
Well, the fact that you can fit 4 people in it and put luggage in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing. I just wanted to fuck people up a little bit more.
There is no other car in that segment that you can do that with, unless you get that new Koenigsegg 4-seater fucking,
yeah.
What is it, the Gemera or?
Gemera. Yeah. By the way, did you win the lottery? Because if so, I'm gonna need one of them.
I haven't even checked.
I didn't win, so that's why I'm. Zach, did you
I
win the
wait.
lottery?
I don't play the lottery.
I mean, I play it and I just wait. Like if I won and like if somebody wins and it's not claimed, like that shit's all over the news. So I just wait.
Yeah.
If I don't hear that, I know I didn't win.
Yeah. Or you just don't ever claim it and be like, fuck y'all, I'm rich.
No, I mean, like I'll usually wait till I have a stack of like 30 of them, you know, because once it's above, you know, 70, 80 million, then I'll usually buy one ticket.
Yeah.
You know, I don't play it all the time, but yeah, I'll you know, have a stack of fucking 20 of them sitting around, and I'll go scan them all to see if any of them won anything. But I don't check like the night of the fucking drawing. I'm not like watching.
You're not watching live? No. I don't even think they do that with hot bitches anymore. And for those of y'all new to the show that are looking into supercars and thinking, okay, so an R8 can keep up with a Pista. No, his R8 could keep up or outrun a Pista because it was a twin turbo car. So new people, all you old people, fuck off. Y'all know what we're talking about. And we love y'all. Kinda. I mean, if we were all adopted. Yeah, so talk about SUVs and practical cars. And you sent me this link, the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. That's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen several reviews on it now, and to me, the two guys that I feel are go-to guys for legitimately objective reviews are Doug DeMuro and CarWow, strangely enough, when he actually does the reviews.
Yeah.
You know, they don't sugarcoat anything. If there's a problem with it or if they're disappointed, they will absolutely tell you, you know, which I like. And there are other reviewers out there, too. The Smoking Tire does a pretty good job at that, of being objective also. But I do think there are times where he's not, where, you know, I think the problem that some of those guys get into is that, when these big auto manufacturers are giving them press cars to review, they don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah.
And so like if Porsche contacts us and says, hey, we want to give you a fucking Porsche GT, and then you review it and you're like, this thing's a piece of fucking shit, and you slam it.
Yeah.
Like if you're Porsche, you're probably thinking, well, fuck these guys, So there's a little bit of a catch-22 there, I think, for most reviewers. Once you get to a certain level, CarWow, Demiro, where you've got several million subscribers, then it kind of doesn't matter because they need you either way. But at any rate, every review I've seen on the GT is that it's next level SUV. Is that even comparing it to an Urus or a Cayenne or an RSQ8 or the X5M, everything basically is that this is absolutely on another fucking level of speed. And I mean, he got a 2.9 fucking 0 to 60 out of a fucking SUV. I mean, that is retarded.
Yeah.
But for me, I still wouldn't buy it. I mean, mine's still faster, and for what I have mine for, that's what I'd be using it for is my daily running around when I'm not having to, like if I need room to carry shit, I'm taking my truck,
Yeah.
If I don't, then I'm taking the thing 2.0. So in terms of my daily drive, I mean, yes, I have the RSQ8 as a happy medium that I use and other people do, as kind of needed. So, I mean, especially with that, there's no reason for me to have another SUV that's a little faster than an RSQ8.
Yeah. I like that. What was it, 2 days ago I texted you want to race that piece of shit?
Yeah, driving by.
I was in an angle behind him at a light, and the reason I know his car is it's the only one around that's that spec, and then I think mine's the only one like that around that's that spec. So it's pretty neat, but I was trying to get him to race.
But overall, back to the original point is that the connection to the road and the driving experience is the most important factor for, I mean, almost everybody. I mean, there are some exceptions. There's people that don't give a fuck about that and just want straight line speed. They drag it or, they street race at night for money or whatever, and all they care about is fucking speed. And that's fine. I mean, if that's your gig. But for most people, absolutely us included, is, how you feel driving a car is really the most important thing. So, and you can get that out of a manual GT4 with 380 horsepower. Yeah. I mean, there's a saying, it's always better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Mm-hmm. And that's 100% fucking accurate. Same thing, I'd say maybe even more so with motorcycles.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, one of the bitches about the bikes that we have, the Aprilia in particular, is that it's so fucking fast that, I mean, in first gear, you can go to jail. I mean, you can get over 100 miles an hour in first fucking gear on that thing, which is absurd. But it's rare that, I mean, I can tell you, like, I've been in fourth gear a handful of times. Yeah. Third gear is good for cruising, but even then, like, I'm usually in first or second. Yeah. And with that, it's like, you find yourself, like, unless there's almost no traffic and or no cops out, or you just don't give a fuck, it's kind of hard to enjoy the bike. I mean, it's still an amazing bike. It handles incredible. It's fun as fuck to ride. But the more you ride it, the more you want to push it. And the more you want to push it, really, the less you can, unless you're on a fucking track or a closed circuit, whatever, because it's just so much fucking bike that you can't really push that bike around here. I mean, even doing the speeds that we do, it's still like the bike has way more left. Way more,
yeah. I mean, unless you ride wheelies past the police station, they enjoy that. Yep. Yeah, but that bike's fucking amazing. But like you said, I mean, you could do the same thing we do around town with a 600cc motorcycle. Yeah. It just won't feel as cool. Yeah. But yeah, a 718 Cayman, like you said, a GT4, even the GTS, if you're really on a budget trying to find a really fun car, I'm not being a dick, but the Cayman is not a supercar. So for any of you guys that think the Cayman's a supercar, it's not at all. Yeah. But it's still one of the best handling cars I've ever been in.
And one of the most fun to drive.
Yeah, it's just so small, and it uses all its power so well they're just fun.
Yeah.
And I told you the only car that's ever made me sick with G-forces is a GT3, and it wasn't a GT3 RS. It was a GT3 Touring with a PDK.
Yeah.
And it was around Speed Vegas.
What year was it?
Shit.
Model year, not year that you did it. Was it 18 or?
It had to be. It was the newer. It was a 992 or 991.2. I remember the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So it was at 17 or up. It had to be. So it's probably 17.
Yeah.
17 or 18. But that same day I drove a 458 around the track, and then the next car I did was the GT3. And that GT3, now the 458, I had a friend at the time that was driving the 458, or he was driving the GT3 because we picked the same two cars. He was driving it, I was driving the 458. I was passing him, running faster laps. But when I got in the GT3, of course, you know how I drive. He couldn't catch me in the 458, and I was fucked by 2 laps. I was like, fuck this shit. I told the instructor, I said, I'm going in.
Yeah.
He said, you got to cool the car down first. Fuck this car. But I cooled it down. But I've never had G-force sickness before, and it was just weird feeling.
Yeah.
Because you feel like your shit's not settled right. But it's the only car. And for the money, I've had 1,000 horsepower cars. I've had well over 1,000 horsepower. Never made me sick. I get in this car, what are they, right at 500 horsepower?
Yeah, 503.
Yeah, and it beat the shit out of my guts.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Great car. And again, if you're looking for a great car under, you can pick up a GT3 991.1 and .2 for under 200, not under 200, right around 250 to
get what?
200 for the GT3 non-RS.
Yeah, no, you can get them under 200 now that the new GT3's out.
Yeah, but that's another good car for the money.
Yeah.
That if you're looking for a good car for the money.
Most of them are just over 200, or at least, a couple months ago when I was looking, I found them anywhere from 180 to 225, but.
I almost bought an all agate gray with carbon everything that they had at Tactical.
Oh, no shit.
Dude, it was probably the best spec Porsche I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it was a GT3, had the comfort seats, PDK, everything the guy could spec. It even had the side mirrors in carbon, the little winglets, had those in carbon. Everything they could spec in carbon was picked from Porsche in carbon.
Wow.
And it had 2,000 miles on it.
God damn. How much was that?
I want to say it was like $215 at the time. But it was a perfect car. Everything. That's probably one of the only cars I still picture in my mind and regret not buying, because I was in the market to buy it. And my wife's like, no, don't buy that.
When was that?
Shit. It had to be right after I wrecked the R8, because I didn't know you yet. And yeah, it had to be right around then. Because if I'd have sent you this car, you'd have been like, dude, you got to get that car. Because it was a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Everything about it was fucking perfect. But let's talk about a video I just sent you before we went on the air. It was the 2023 C8 Z06 going around the ring.
Yeah. So it sounded like a cross between, it's a 5.5 liter V8 naturally aspirated.
617 horsepower.
And, if you think about, 5.2 liter V10, 5.5 liter V8, both naturally aspirated, the R8 Huracan engine versus this, similar power numbers. Mm-hmm. And they sound similar.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like more like a cross between the Huracan and just the Ferrari engine sound in a great way. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So it's really the first time. The Z06 is the car that I would say is probably the start of American cars that are reasonably priced enough, and enough of them are made for me to consider buying an American supercar, because I would consider that a supercar.
Yeah, the Z06 for sure.
So yeah, we'll see what it costs and when it comes out and how available they are or not. I know with the new C8 base model, man, like the first 6 months, you couldn't get one.
No.
Unless you knew a motherfucker at a Chevy dealership and were letting them bang your old lady, like you weren't getting one.
Yeah.
So it's we'll see what happens. But I am excited to see what comes out of that. I hope like fucking it sounds like that one will rev higher too.
It says 9,000.
I don't know why that's only 6,000 on the base model.
Probably because it's Rafael de la Guetta.
I mean, to me, the fucking, I really don't get, I mean, the motor for what it is, it's naturally aspirated, it's less than 500 fucking horsepower and goes to 6,000. It's still a good car for what it is. And like we were talking about, like it's still fun to drive, I think. I mean, I haven't driven one, but I've seen enough on it to where I would bet that it's still a pretty fun car to drive.
Yeah.
The one thing that I think Chevy misses the mark on is the interior, you know.
Yeah.
And that's really with any car. I mean, even Cadillacs, some of the CTS Vs, the old CTS Vs and that new CT5V Blackwing, like the interior is still feels like an American interior and not like that super high quality.
Yeah.
You know?
And they don't understand you, but they know their base, their customer base. But if you want to win over the exotic crowd.
Yeah, if you want to break into any of the European exotic market shares and get people here in the United States that are currently buying Lambos, Porsches, Ferraris, you know, Audi, BMW, fucking Mercedes, you've got to kick up your fucking interior game significantly. You know, they're pretty good with tech. I mean, Ford has done a great job.
Yeah.
With usable tech. Like the materials are still a notch down from what the European exotics are, but the level of tech and usability and how good it is on that level.
Yeah.
But
100%. Yeah. If Chevy would step that up, I think they touched the supercar market. They did real good with the Nurburgring with the ZL1 Camaro and the ZR1 Corvette, both bad motherfuckers. To me, the regular Corvette, you C8 guys that watch may get butt hurt, but y'all drive like little bitches and you're slow. It's not a supercar. To me, it's not an exotic. Now you put that Z06 with the flat plane crank, more power, it's dual clutch.
way higher revs.
Way higher revs. It sounds exotic. It sounds nice. You're getting in that supercar exotic territory with that car. And I'm betting it's going to be around 110 to get in entry level. And I bet a really nice spec one's going to be closer to 150.
Yeah.
Which
probably
isn't bad for that level of car.
Yeah, I mean that level of performance in any exotic is going to cost you $100,000 more than that.
Oh yeah,
you know, so
easy. If it's got a European badge on it, yeah, easy. But in the grand scheme of things, look at it this way too. You have a GTR, which arguably we've talked about the strongest platform you can build fast straight line cars with. You have that, which is running anywhere from $130,000 to $160,000 for the nice one, the Nismo package and all that. Or you get a Z06 that looks exotic, sounds exotic, has Speciale performance, and was designed by the guy who helped build the Ferrari 458 Speciale.
Yeah.
That says a lot about that car for under 200 grand.
Yeah.
If they're under 200 grand.
Yeah.
If they go trying to touch that 200 mark with the exotics, they're only going to keep the audience they have now.
Yeah.
And may lose some of them.
I would say that they will lose them if it gets up in there. I think with the ZR1 is a good example of where they pushed that envelope and kind of lost on it, I think, you know, is that, you know, if you're going to bump the price up into where you're deciding, you've got the money to decide between a Turbo S, a fucking Huracan, an R8, you know, even a fucking F8 or, you know, maybe a 488 GTB. I mean, whatever, anything in that realm, like you've got to fucking do way better than what they're doing. Like it can't be just a little better than what they put out in the last model, you know, or you're going to lose, and you'll see that, you'll continue to see it.
Yeah, and where they could take notes from the Europeans, which we bitch about it, but it works for the Europeans. If you want a cheap, we'll just say a 992, a cheap 992, you can go get a base 992 for, what's a cheap Turbo S, I think starts at 185. That's base. You haven't picked shit out yet. Now you can order that car, then they're going to add, I think it's $5,000 to freight it here.
Well, so yeah, the cheapest 992 Turbo S is like 203.
Yeah, and that's shipped here and everything. That's all your freight, because it starts off under the 200 mark, but once everything's tacked in, it's cheap. But and Chevy could take this and use it. Oh, you want colored seat belts, you want carbon fiber, you want the trim around the window painted, you want your badges black.
Yeah.
I mean, every little thing, by the time you're done building the car and say you're going white on black, cheap, free white, the free white, but you want it white on black with some carbon fiber, the $230,000 car by the time you're done speccing it out.
Yep.
Oh, you want a front lift? Oh, that's $4,000. You know, take away some of the, not to be a dick to you Chevy people, but take away the free lift, make people pay for it. Yeah. That way your entry-level supercar is obtainable by almost everybody that's in that $100,000, $150,000 mark, but to have the ability to stretch it up is where they want to.
I wonder if, or I guess I would say I suspect that because of the way Chevy is set up manufacturing-wise compared to all the Euro exotics, is they're so much bigger that I think logistically, infrastructure-wise, I don't know that they can do that.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
they probably can't.
Yeah, I mean, to have shit set up where you can spec things out and custom order, you know, a totally unique spec'd out car, I can imagine just in the little bit of, you know, products and logistics that I'm involved in is that there's probably an element of manufacturing that has to be a certain way for you to be able to do that maybe wouldn't justify them doing it, or maybe they even couldn't just, you know.
Well, see, they build those up in Kentucky away from where they build every other car.
Yeah.
That's the only car built in the Corvette factory.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then they should be able to do it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. But.
Yeah, because that's where the Corvette Museum is. There's a factory behind that, and that's where all the Corvettes are built. And the Corvette Museum, if y'all want to get mugged, that's a good place to go.
Yeah.
The Corvette Museum?
Oh, dude, we went and we stayed at a hotel at the Corvette Museum. Well, it's across the street from it. There was a car that ran over one of those concrete pillars. There was clothes going up the stairwell with blood all over the stairwell.
Good God.
Yeah, when we got up, that's when we got up. When we got there, it was still like, man, this was a sketchy-ass place. But when we were leaving, we knew we was in a sketchy-ass place. And my buddy, we went back through there. About a year later, my buddy's like, surely that was just a one-time fucking deal. We stayed there again. No, motherfuckers outside fighting in the parking lot. Fucking another car fucking damn near runs in the front of the building this time. And it's like, holy shit.
Damn.
It's like these motherfuckers get all hillbilly drunk around here and start doing fucked up shit.
Where's this Corvette Museum?
Kentucky. Bowling Green, Kentucky or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's, I mean.
Seems like a strange place to
You
have
just say
that.
Kentucky, you know, you know it's fucked up. And my dad lived in Kentucky, and the place is fucked up. It's backwoods as fuck. So yeah, the flat plane crank on that, I mean, it sounds good. I hope they finish it how good it could be. So that's my thoughts on the C8 Z06. You guys can go check it out. You can search it after our video, like an hour after, go rewind and watch at least another hour of this. But no, you can go search it, the Nurburgring C8 Z06 2023, and it pops up. I think it was, a 6-minute video or some shit. But pretty good little video.
Yeah.
Now, the circle back question.
Oh, no.
You got any more car stuff? Because I'm gonna take us off the car stuff.
Well, the one thing I wanted to bring up, we talked about it in that same vein, talking about performance. There may be some people thinking, well, you can get that kind of performance out of your car, right, out of your X5M, as you're talking, 625, 30 horsepower, whatever it is, pretty significant straight line speed, but it's still not on the same level from a handling standpoint. Mm-hmm. To me, I think throwing a Nurburgring time in is an important litmus and factor when determining supercar stuff. And to me, like, you got to be sub 720 to even consider it.
Oh, yeah.
Irrespective of horsepower. Now, Mercedes is coming out with their four-door GT car, the GT63S. Their 2022 model is going to have a hybrid combination where, it's the same 635 horsepower twin turbo V8 with an additional 240 horsepower in electric motors. It's going to give that thing fucking 800 and whatever horsepower. And I think, you know, I was talking about this with you last night, is that I think that's what you're going to see as the gateway drug into all electric, is taking all of the cars that we know and love now and adding that electric motor hybrid aspect, which adds, you know, another 200 to 300 horsepower and makes it, you know, whatever the version of that car is on steroids. I mean, pick any supercar, you know, whether it's a Huracan, a 911, a fucking 488, I mean, whatever, and add, you know, 250 horsepower of instant torque.
Yeah.
In electric motors, and you've got, you know, that car on fucking steroids, you know, and that's going to be intoxicating, I think, for a lot of people, and going to make any naturally, whether it's naturally aspirated or, I mean, any combustion engine, it's going to make it feel slow. No matter how instant the power delivery is, supercharged NA engine, it's still going to seem slow compared to the instant torque you get out of a legitimate hybrid car that adds, you know, all that immediate fucking response. And so that, I think, is gonna be what you see in all of the cars that we're driving now, is that those versions of hybrids, and then ultimately all electric probably.
And that's what I responded to you. I was like, I could deal with the hybrid because you can still have a sound. There's still emotion, and you still get, sometimes I say you still get that startup, but like your truck, you hit start and it just says ready.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But like Ferrari's already started with the SF90. They had it. The LaFerrari was a
GTB,
hybrid. The
296 GTB.
Yeah, the 296 GTB. The MC20 by Maserati, which is a fucking, they helped design the 296 engine for Ferrari. So those of y'all that don't know, fucking Maserati and Ferrari are sister companies. It's actually a cool car, the MC20.
Yeah, it is.
If I were picking right now, just seeing concepts, not seeing them in person, if I had the 296 GTB and a MC20 right here, I'm taking that MC20. It just looks more exotic.
Looks wise, absolutely.
Power wise.
Yeah, to me, the Ferrari will stomp the shit out of that. But and it's still a Ferrari. I mean,
and it's probably handling.
Yeah,
gonna be better.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
I'm not a Maserati fan.
You hate Maseratis.
Yeah, I really don't like them. I don't know why, but
because everybody that drives a Maserati is a douchebag.
I thought those were Corvettes.
No, they're just American idiots. Not saying it in a bad way. It's weird. Corvette people are some really cool people, and they're usually older guys who have been car guys their entire lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were, some of us grew up with exotics on the wall. They grew up looking at the Stingrays and shit like that. So to them, that's their dream car, and we kind of bash them at times, and I respect them because a lot of them are older people, and that was their Mecca savings car to get to that car. It's a good car. They just don't drive them like they should, and eventually they're going to break down because they're not driven like they're designed. And if they just really want to have some fun, guys, get on your cars. If your car's designed and they've tested it in the sports car market, hammer the shit out of your car. Your love for the car will turn into a love infatuation type deal where you're like, fuck, I got to get in that car.
And it's better for the car.
Yeah. I mean, hell, my wife says the reason I fuck all my cars up is because we drive them like they're advertised.
Yeah.
Not how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, if we see this car can do this,
yeah,
that's what we will do in it every fucking time we get in it. You know?
Yeah,
and
show me.
Yeah, I mean, that's to me, again, that's what they're for. And I mean, to me, probably the biggest heartburn I have with anybody, whether it's a motorcycle, you know, the Superleggeres are infamous for that. You know, people buy them and then they drain them and have them sit, as this one sits right here.
But it's not drained.
It's not. Well, it's not drained, and it's also not $100,000 special run motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know, but my point is that, you know, there's a certain tip of the cap to the brilliance behind the engineering and the hard work that those fucking teams put into developing a car, a motorcycle that can do what that thing can do, and then you don't do it, and it's almost like a slap in the fucking face.
Yeah.
You know, is that like, dude, these guys, I mean, have spent their entire lives, in most of these cases, whether it's the GT cars with Porsche, fucking Superleggeres with Ducati, fucking, you know, any high-level performance car of any company, is that the engineers are usually, lifetime engineers. These are guys that have been engineers their entire fucking adult careers with that company in a lot of cases, and put their entire life's work into developing what you're driving, and you're not fucking doing anything with it.
And here's a big slap in the face. How many of them don't have the opportunity to actually own that car that they designed?
Oh, I know. Most of them, or a lot of them.
Yeah, and then they go see. I've never took my Corvette into Chevy, and they're like, "Oh shit, you drove this car?" Never seen you go into Ferrari or my cars or anything. We take them for service, and they're like, "Damn, you put miles on it."
Yeah.
Shit. Every one of them, especially with the Pista, they're like, "Holy shit, you got some good miles." And then they're wanting to talk about your experience driving the car. And
they're like, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're not like, oh man.
Yeah, why would you do that? Like, no, it's the exact opposite. I mean, they love seeing people drive the fucking cars the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, I want to drive, and I switch cars a lot because, again, Mike has the pinnacle car that eventually I will have, unless just something better comes out and I'll skip it and go to that. And it wouldn't be I'm skipping it to one up him. It's just timing. Mike has the pinnacle car. If I get that car and he has that car and no one's buying any new cars other than daily drivers, this show's gonna get really fucking boring.
Yeah.
But and I have no bitch about it doing it because it's fun for me. I get to fucking drive different shit. You get to fucking drive them, fuck around with them, and we get to find weaknesses in them. The Pista's still to this day hammered the shit out of it. You're driving just as hard, and nothing's broke. Yeah. Knock on fucking wood somewhere.
Not a single check engine light.
Yeah.
No, I've said that.
No, but no issues, no problems, no bad gas, no.
Yeah.
Does that one hadn't had tire issues, has it?
I ran over a screw a couple thousand miles ago. I mean, so when I got this new batch of tires, when we went in and saw that other one with a lot of miles on it,
yeah,
the reason I was getting new tires on it was because I had a screw in one of them.
Okay. But I mean, other than that car's been flawless. Where in that time, I guess the only thing I've had is the 488 and this new one. But the 488, I would hammer the shit out of that car trying to keep up. And while I was keeping up, you were still pulling most of the time. It wasn't as fun because I'm working the shit out of my car, whereas sometimes it looked like you wasn't even trying to work your car. And I knew I finally got you to work your car the other day when you passed me and your hat's around backwards and you're fucking on it. But the even with that said, the GTR, I've worked its ass off to where, I'll share with you guys, I stuck the exhaust flaps open and the motherfucker's been in limp mode ever since that day we fucking pushed it to 200.
Yeah.
And I didn't know till the other day I went to hit a 0 or a 60 to 130 time and that bitch wouldn't go nowhere. That bitch was just sitting there. Yeah. And good car, it's fixed now, but the Pista, no issues.
Yeah.
So when people ask, is it worth it? Well, it depends. What's your value of worth?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's that, and also I think for back to the driving it how you should. On top of what's your value of worth and what's the point, but also is that if you're one of those people that doesn't drive that way, because they're unsure, they're afraid they're going to break it or put miles on or whatever, I'd say just try it.
Yeah.
And I will bet fucking anything that you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Just go out and hammer the shit out of it. Drive it like it's not yours. Drive it like it's a rental car at Speed Vegas.
Yeah.
And you don't give a fuck about it. Try it just one fucking time, where you don't give a shit what happens to the car and just beat the shit out of it and watch what happens.
Especially if you have a Ferrari.
Especially.
If you have a Ferrari and you haven't modded it at all, that warranty is bar none the best warranty and maintenance you can fucking get.
Yeah, by far.
I mean, out there. Go dog the fuck out of that car and you'll have a blast. My Ferrari, when I got it, it was a Ferrari that just sat around. And I saw him at a gas station. I hadn't got a chance to punch it. I went to fucking give it full throttle. That bitch didn't do shit. So I messaged the guy and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? He said, oh, dude, that car sat for a year or so. And I was like, holy shit. He said, put it, and he told me all these steps. And he said, just hold that motherfucker to the floor as long as you can. And I did, and that bitch looked like a damn Power Stroke that'd been deleted. Just black shit everywhere out of the tailpipes.
Yeah. I mean, the Pista was not quite to that level, but the first few times I really hammered it, it was blowing. Even when I was first starting it up, after I drove it that way, it would blow like black fucking pasty liquid out of the exhaust onto the fucking garage floor.
Yeah, and it's because they just didn't use it.
Yeah, they just weren't dry. I mean, I was told that it was driven from the guy's house to a restaurant that he owned every day, that was just a few miles away for a year. It was just his day. He drove back and forth from his restaurant, and that's it. Well, I can tell you, like, the more specialized the car that way, the more that car doesn't like short trips where it's not totally warmed up.
Yeah. Yeah, the McLaren was a weird car.
Yeah, you had to beat the shit out of it when you first got it.
Yeah, if you didn't beat the fuck out of a McLaren, you're wasting your fucking money. So, moral of the story, if you're spending money, you're buying a sports car, you're buying a supercar, Corvette or not, and McLaren or Maserati guys, you're ultra douches. Corvette guys, normal douches. Lamborghini owners, way above ultra douche.
Would be a super douche?
Super douche.
Hyper douche.
Hyper douche. There you go. Drive the shit out of your cars.
Uber douche.
Yeah. Just drive the fuck out of them. You will have a blast. And if you don't, bring it over. We won't even let one of us drive it. I'll let my wife drive it. Because I guarantee she could probably outdrive a lot of the guys that listen to this fucking show.
I tell you what would be cool is for any listeners out there that are into cars the same way and have them and drive them and whatever, is to fucking bring them here and like go to a car meet. Like that'd be a cool Patreon thing or something. Even just do an invite where it's not even a contest. It's just hey, like pick a date when the weather cools off, like when it's perfect in that October November time frame. Of having listeners come and like all cruise to a fucking car meet together or something. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Or there's that track here where you can rent cars for the guys that don't have their own cars.
Yeah.
You rent them at a racetrack.
I think
do two different kinds like that. Do one for the owners and then that one.
Yeah. You guys tell us what you think. How about that?
Bitches.
Circling back.
This is the one I've been waiting on. This is for all you ladies out there. Let's talk taste in women.
Yeah.
Fuck it, all out taste. And my thoughts are, and what got me thinking of this is the other day, some guys like their women fully shaved. I'm going to be somewhat clean about saying that.
As clean as you can, yeah.
Yeah. Some guys like fully shaved. Some guys like landing strip. Some guys want an arrow. Some guys want fucking buckwheat.
Some guys want a lightning bolt.
Some guys want a lightning bolt. And to the chick's credit, that's hard to do.
Yeah, that ain't easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's
you
a
got
lot
some
of
fine-ass motor skills if you can shave a lightning bolt into your fucking...
Yeah, because they're using like a straight razor or something. That shit's fucking... But then here's the controversy that all guys, it's chicks will ask, guys will ask, you tits or ass man, right? So my theory, here it is, you can find a chick with a beautiful ass, and if she don't have tits, which normally they don't have both, but if she got a great ass and no titties, you can buy her titties. But if she's got great titties and no ass, you can't buy her a nice ass.
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah. Well, and there's genetic limitations as to how much they can grow it, even with the most proper nutrition and exercise, is that you're still a little bit capped on genetics. Now I have seen some like, dude, holy shit, like before and after, but it's usually like they were in their late teens and now they're 25 or older or whatever, and they've got twice the amount of ass that they used to have, but those are rare.
Yeah.
You're kind of typically born with the ass that you have to a certain extent. Yes, you can grow it, but it's way harder.
Yeah, with the squats and all that. But
there's only so much you can do.
A fake ass
doesn't work.
Yeah, there's two ways they do it. They do implants. Well, I guess three ways. They do implants or what's called a Brazilian, where they pull fat from all over your body. And if you got enough fat all over your body to shoot up in your ass, well, you weren't trying to work your damn ass out anyways. So, but if they got that much to give you that big round ass, it's just not there. So the other way, they take what they can. If you don't have any fat, they take what they can from your arms, your stomach, all these other weird ass places, and they put these implants in, then squirt the shit around. Well, here's the problem. if you can't turn that fat into any type of muscle, you're just going to be back to where you were. So, moral of the stories, guy?
Yeah, I mean, fat doesn't transform into muscle anyway. I mean, the only way that works is if you also do a lot of ass work so that you grow your ass into forming in and around with that fat to fill that shape out.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem that most women, like, if you're willing to spend fucking however many thousands of dollars to have your ass cut open and packed with fat, like, that's a shortcut.
Yeah.
That only works if you're willing to put the time in. It's the same with like steroids. People are like, oh, that fucking guy's on steroids. That dude still works his fucking ass off to look like that. You know, like, it only helps, it only enhances the work that you put in.
Yeah.
You know, and so, like, it's not like you just shoot yourself up with fucking horse juice and grow into the Incredible Hulk while you're fucking, you know, watching American Ninja snacking on Cheetos. Like, it doesn't work that way.
If it did,
Zach, you know what I'm talking about.
I sure do, man. Yeah, that's
if
true.
it did as much testosterone as I'm on, I'd be a jack motherfucker sitting right here.
Fucking monster.
Yeah. Instead, I hurt my wrist, my elbows every time I do anything.
Yeah.
Beat off the other day, sprained my pinky. Shit fucking sucked.
Here's a question for the viewer: are you an ass or titty man, or both? Like, for me, it's both. You know, I wouldn't say I really have do you have a type?
No.
I guess, do you, like, if you look back at every woman you've ever dated, been with, whatever, does it tend to lean towards one look? Over?
Black women.
Yeah.
No. And I'm not against it. I actually dated a black chick in school. I don't know if my brother knows that, but hey, you know now. I guess the most, thinking about it, I only dated a couple blonde chicks. For the most part, they were brunette, athletic chicks.
Yeah.
And like, they either played softball, volleyball, you know, did something with athletics. Of course, you know, I played baseball, football, all that type of shit. But I guess that's it. And as far as ass man, titty man, again, it goes back to the thing. A bitch can't get bigger titties unless she just gets really, really fat. And then she's growing big titties, but then she's just sick. No, I'm just kidding. For you, there's body but there's body types. There's some chicks who can be bigger and still be really, really pretty, but then there's some chicks who they can be pretty as hell skinny, and then they start getting bigger, and it just looks like they ate the other one, and they're not pretty at all. Yeah. It's really weird.
You're talking about like curvy, right? Versus just like
no, I'm not talking like my 600-pound life motherfucker that got to get airlifted out of the window.
Thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more of an ass man. And again, it's because you can get titties. You can't get an ass.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like both. I mean, I tend to, again, looking back at, you know, the track record, roster, whatever you want to call it, like, I absolutely tend to lean towards, or there's a recurring theme of typically darker hair, dark eyes, and a very full figure.
Yeah.
You know, across the board, you know, tits and ass, you know, whatever. But I think, you know, to have to pick one over the other, for sure, ass is more important, because I think, you know, when you're actually doing anything with them, that plays a much bigger role in having sex than tits do.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to reach, I'm not saying I want a flat-chested chick, but I want a chick, C's are bigger. So, yeah, kind of filled out woman. But I don't want, because I don't want to reach up and be talking about, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's the same thing with their hips and ass, too. Like, you know, I've never really understood the, like, heroin chic, fucking super skinny runway model look. Like,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the Victoria's Secret, they're a little better now in terms of being a little more full-figured. I mean, I like a woman to be built like a fucking woman. Yeah. You know, and to be thick, and I mean, I like a trim waist and thick everywhere else.
I like when they're bent over, they have those dimples right there above their ass.
There's actually a study that said something about the level of intelligence or something, that there was a very high percentage rate of, I want to say it was intelligence. There was something like a character trait that was very, very high percentage-wise present in women that had dimples above their ass.
Oh, my wife must be a fucking genius.
Yeah, I think it was intelligence. It could be something else, but there was some study that there was a correlation between ass dimples and
like
and
if you would have
something.
said hoe, I'd have been like, yeah, that's my wife. But you said intelligence, so I'm fucked up.
I'm like, wait a minute, that
Yeah,
can't be right.
I'm gonna have to research this shit now.
Is she naturally blonde or brunette?
Brunette? Yeah, and I guess I would guess my same type is dark hair, darker eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I certainly find light eyes and light hair attractive. I just, thinking of it, I don't think I've ever, in fact, I know I've never dated one.
Yeah.
I've never dated a blonde with blue eyes ever. But
Well, what all the chicks don't understand out there, we could have whatever taste we fucking want. Like my ideal woman. Now, the perfect woman is a redhead bitch. Because you get a pretty ass redhead bitch, they're rare.
Wow.
No, but for real.
Are they?
Dude,
I guess, yeah. You know,
I'm talking-
well, I mean, just percentage-wise, there's
there's
not a lot of women that have red hair. Period.
yeah,
You know?
natural red hair without a ton of freckles.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Like that's like the perfect.
You
chick.
don't go for the freckles?
No, bro, I ain't trying to play connect the dot. I'm trying to have sex.
Hold on, listen. Freckles on the right woman though.
No, but everybody,
I
everybody
agree.
has freckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I've seen some, even not just redhead, but just some women have a lot of freckles.
I'm
that-
talking carrot
that
top
looks-
freckles.
That shit can work.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it before where I think it's hot.
Hot?
but, yeah,
Huh.
It can
yeah,
be.
it can
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, yes.
But-
I mean, yeah.
I think if the woman is naturally beautiful, otherwise it enhances it.
Yeah.
And it's like Indian women, and I'm not trying to be racist here at all, but with Indian women from the Middle East, there's not an in-between with them. There's hot as fuck, or there's the ones that they bitch about need covered. But that's the only two.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in-between chick. And it's like a redhead. They're really, really pretty, or there's like, damn. And she looked like the cover of Garbage Pail Kid deal.
Well, that's part of the mystique in the culture, right? With the coverings that like.
But I think that goes back to because a lot of redheads are known for being Scottish, right? Ain't that?
I mean, northern European, but
Yeah.
I mean Irish and Scottish.
Yeah, and that's why they're normally paler and all that. But yeah, I mean, those are, but still at the end of the day, and what my thought is that could be my ideal perfect woman, this redhead chick that looks like Scarlett Johansson. That bitch still has to pick me.
Yeah.
I could love her to death, but at the end of the day, she'll be like, nah, bro. And then I'm gonna try to get in the friend zone to take advantage of that drunk night, and
Don't admit to that on the podcast. Don't tell people you would be that.
I'm a married man now, so it
Well,
don't matter.
obviously, right? Of course.
But back in the day,
My God.
I never did that friend zone shit though.
When I was in my late teens, early 20s, first in the Navy, I did.
Yeah.
I was friends with a couple of different girls, but from experience, we were friends because they wanted to be friends, not because I wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I 100% was interested in them, and they were just fine being friends, and it sucked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And back on the chick theory, don't think any way I was down on any chick, because at the end of the day, you could be the ugliest chick in the world. In what in most cases is their own mind, not in our minds, because everybody has a type of chick they like. But you take your ass, if you think you're the ugliest person in the world, walk into a bar butt ass naked, you're gonna be fine. I mean, you're gonna get hit on. I don't care how ugly you think you are. You're gonna get hit on. You're not gonna go to jail. Now take my ass. Let me walk naked in that same motherfucking bar.
You're gonna get beat up and arrested.
I'm gonna get beat up, arrested, and I'm gonna have sex in jail that night.
Maybe not even in that order.
Not voluntarily.
Yeah, not voluntarily. So women, and they don't understand this. Everybody talks equal rights or women feminism. If you chicks were smart, and I've said this over and over, if I was a chick, my shit, what I'd be doing. I'd have OnlyFans, $20 a month. Y'all can see whatever you want. But women hold the cards. They just don't.
For sure they do.
They don't put it together that they hold the cards.
Some of them do.
Yeah. Some of the ones that do are fucking sitting around running shit.
Yeah.
And usually they're running shit the smartest way possible, where they're letting this dude go get all the brunt of all the bullshit. And they're down there, I'm going to take that shit from him. You know, and it's like, shit, my woman said don't listen to you no more, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's double standards both ways. You know, there's unfair double standards for men, there's unfair double standards for women.
Yeah.
There always has been, there always will be, no matter what the social push for quote-unquote equality. I mean, men and women are not equal.
Yeah, no.
They just aren't. And that's not saying one is better than the other. It's saying that they're different. There's things that men are better at. There's things that women are better at. You know, pretty much across the board, too. Yes, there are exceptions and anomalies, but, you know, that the philosophy or the idea that we can somehow choose to level that playing field is impossible. It's not ever going to be level. And I think, I really do think it's counterproductive and does a disservice to even try. I think, you know, we as a society should embrace what makes men and women men and women.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake not to.
Ben Shapiro, I'm crazy you brought that up. I watched a deal, I guess I brought it up, or we brought it up, but I watched a deal on it, and Shapiro's talking about that soccer chick, the fucked up haired one.
Yeah.
And she's bitching. Yeah, she's bitching about not equal pay.
Yeah.
And he had so many points that, and we've talked about it before, they came here, the U.S. soccer team came here to scrimmage 15 and under boys in Dallas, and they got the shit beat out of them 5-0.
Yeah.
The women's Olympic soccer team came here to scrimmage 14-year-old boys and got the shit beat out of them 5-0.
Yeah.
So men's soccer is played year-round, and it's, I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry. So, yeah, those guys are going to get paid millions upon millions. And there's, once every 4 years?
Well, no, I mean, there are women's soccer leagues now, too. But to me, that's not even the point. To me, the point is that the demand for everything is what dictates price.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, pick any fucking thing, toilet paper, motorcycles, food, you know, dogs. I mean, fucking everything is that the level of demand in conjunction with what the level of supply is and how disparate those two are proportioned is what dictates price on everything.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you for anybody saying, well, that's bullshit, you know, with the soccer thing, and I would love to have her on the show to say, okay, well, what about porn stars? You know, like, is there a big push to get male porn stars paid the way female porn stars are? No.
Hell no.
Because people don't give a fuck who the guy is.
No.
You know, that's not why people watch porn. And for a lot of sports, people watch sports to marvel at and appreciate athletic ability and talent, period. And it's not to say that women don't for women, you know, but in most competitive sports where speed, fast twitch, muscle fibers, overall strength, body to weight ratio, strength, speed, quickness, all of those things are factors. Men are inherently dominant in those sports.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that is a fact.
Well, it's like U.S. gymnastics.
Yeah.
There's different things the men do than the women.
No, absolutely there are. But, you know, my point in that is that is why people watch sports, overwhelmingly so, is because they're watching people do something that they can't.
Yeah.
You know, and so when there is whatever sport it is, they want to, you know, people appreciate and are willing to pay for it at its highest level. Women's sports, by and large, are not at its highest level. If it was, there wouldn't be women's sports. There would just be women in professional sports. There's not for that reason. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, ask the women's soccer team to go play the men's soccer team, and I'd say, if you beat them, we'll swap salaries. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, you're never going to beat them.
What was it where they did the co-op race or whatever it was at the Olympics this year? It was guys and girls doing a relay.
Like an intramural relay kind of thing?
Yeah, and it was at the Olympics.
Really?
Like, it was 2 and 2.
Yeah, I didn't hear about
There's
it.
2 guys, 2 girls, some shit like that. You bet there was America, I think it was, trying to prove a point, has a chick on the finishing leg. You bet your ass motherfucking Jamaica had a black dude and he fucked them up.
Yeah.
But what do you expect?
Yeah.
I
mean, you can take any competition in any Olympic sport and pick, you know, the very fastest, you know, whoever the woman is that wins the gold medal in any event and you put her time in that same race against the men, and most of the time they're not even qualifying to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time. So there's just a difference, you know, and to try to ignore the fact that there is, or sweep it under the rug and make accommodations standard-wise so that it's not, is just absurd, you know.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. In the Olympics, someone put a dude in against the women for weightlifting, and he kicked their ass. But I'm against that whole thing. Yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of things that chicks are better at and guys are better at, and it's just, we got to come to terms with that and quit this, equal pay, equal rights type shit.
There's a lot of examples of men who transition to women and then go into women's sports and dominate it. There's not a single instance of a female transitioning to a male and going into that male sport and dominating it. Not one.
Yeah.
You know, that tells you everything you need to know. But anyway.
Not even peeing with the seat down.
Yeah.
They still pee on floor, seat, and everything else.
How we doing?
Yeah, I think we're good.
You got any questions, Zach?
Shoot, I do, but we're pretty good on time.
Well,
I don't know.
You got to do at least one question.
Yeah, just one.
I tell you what. This weekend, I had the pleasure of driving my first jet ski.
Get the fuck out.
Never done that before. I rode one once on the back, but never actually had the pleasure. Those things are fun as shit. And I don't know if we've ever actually talked about speed on the water on this show.
Can I give you one piece of free advice?
Yeah.
Don't ever share that you've been on the back of a jet ski again.
You did catch my look
8.
on that.
Oh yeah. No, you and I had the same look at the same time when you said that.
Yeah.
Don't tell people that ever.
I was a child.
Don't matter.
I don't care.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
The point is, I've driven a jet ski, and it's super fun. And yeah, I don't know if we ever talked about speed on the lake. Do you guys ever get out on the water a lot? I mean, lake-wise, I don't know if you do that, but there's definitely some around here. You guys got a boat, jet skis? I mean, you got
Mike don't
speed
even
out
know how
there?
to swim.
Do you remember what I used to do for a living, Zach?
No, what's that?
Do we need to go over that again?
All right.
You ever been out on the water on fast boats? No, I don't think. No.
But do you do it now, recreationally?
Fuck no. I stay as far away from the goddamn water as possible.
Really?
I do. I hate going out on the water for two reasons. One is that 12 and a half years in the SEAL teams kind of spoiled the fun out of that, and spending hours and hours and miles on admittedly very fun, fast, capable boats, but it's not like you're getting to fuck around on them. And if it's shitty weather or cold out, guess what? You're still going.
Yeah.
So you don't get to just do it when it's fun. You're doing it because you're getting from point A to point B on them, and it usually kicks the shit out of you. To your question or point, even though I don't partake in it now, the only exception I would make is if I owned a piece of property on a body of water that was fun to go on, and I had my own dock that I could have a boat and or jet skis moored up to, and that's just where they stayed, then I would have one or both.
Sure.
But that's the only way I would do that, and I'm not looking to live on the water either. Anyway, speed on the water feels faster than it does on land. No fucking two ways about it.
Okay.
40 miles an hour on the water feels way fucking faster than 40 miles an hour in a car.
Really?
The same way it does on a motorcycle until you get used to it.
Yeah.
Now when you're on a bike, you can be doing 90 and you're like, what the fuck? I'm doing 90. Like it doesn't feel like it. But at first, speed on a motorcycle feels faster than it does in a car because you're exposed.
Yeah.
Is that you're not in a protected, quiet. The fucking wind's in your face, water's fucking splashing up and around you. It absolutely feels faster. And they are fun though.
Yeah.
Watercraft. They're a blast. I just don't fuck with it.
Nice. Yeah. Matt, what do you know about lakes?
I had a wakeboard boat and all that, and the best part about it was buying it and then selling it.
Boat ownership supposedly is real awful, right? I mean,
I had more friends than I wanted. It's like owning a trailer. Everybody wants to borrow your trailer, but everybody wanted to ride on the boat. No one wanted to pay for gas. No one wanted to help wipe that bitch down. And no one wanted to put food in that motherfucker, because you go for a day, you got to have drinks, you got to have food. Nobody brought any of that shit.
Yeah.
And so it was about $300 to $600 a weekend I was spending. Fuck boats.
Oh.
Now, jet skis are fun, but they're kind of like motorcycles to me. You can have a lot of fun on them for a while by yourself, but they're a lot more fun if you can get like a jet ski gang.
Yeah.
Run around the water, start picking on
Terrorize
people.
the lake.
I mean, it's just more fun to partake in them with other people.
Yeah.
Similarly with motorcycles are more fun when there's a few of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on a few fast jet skis though.
Yeah.
Yeah, do 70 miles an hour.
That's pretty good.
Turbo. Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah.
But again, I've also rode one by myself with no one around, and it's like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and being on boats like some of the ribs, the rigid hull inflatable boats that we would ride around on. I mean, that's the boat that I've spent the most time on. It's a 31 foot or 33 foot long boat that will carry about eight of us guys plus the couple of crew members that are operating the boat. Those will do up in the upwards of I think 100 miles an hour. It's 70, 80 knots somewhere in there.
It's an inflatable boat.
It's a rigid hull inflatable boat. So imagine like a rigid hull with an inflatable tube around it.
Yeah, I think I'm imagining one in my head.
Yeah, I mean you can Google fucking RHIB rib boat and put seal in there somewhere and they'll come up. But and they've got 50 cals and 240 Gulfs or 40 millimeter fucking grenade launchers on them and stuff. They'll outfit them to be pretty well gunned. But the bitch of it is like there's a big difference between being on a lake, having fun on a boat, and being in the open ocean.
Totally.
On a small boat like that, when you're doing that kind of speed in rough seas, absolutely fucking sucks. And it beats the fucking shit out of you when you're in those. Even they've got like these weird half chair things, kind of like the anatomically correct like half standing, half sitting seats that you see in for office chairs.
Yeah.
It's kind of that same thing where it's like you've got just a slight bend in the knee and it's kind of a half chair that you're sort of sitting in. Even when you're strapped into those and there's handlebars that you're holding on to, it's still like, dude, it pounds the fuck out of your spine.
Well, yeah, your muscles and joints all take every wave, right? Like you're bouncing with every one of those and adjusting.
Yeah,
and fixing.
and it's a weird mix of like you're trying to stay somewhat relaxed and somewhat tense. Like you can't be completely fucking limp or you'll break shit. Mm-hmm. You can't stand there and be totally flexed either, or for 4 hours straight, or you'll fucking cramp up and be exhausted. So it's exhausting being on those. And there's times where like we've had to ride them for 7, 8, 9 hours straight, like from one place to the next, and it's fucking miserable. But
so if somebody invites you out to the lake for a weekend, you're probably.
I've been invited a bunch out here. I've not taken a single motherfucker
really?
up. Yeah.
Damn.
Not a single one. I went fishing once when I first moved here with a family friend of ours. Invited me down to Lake Fork to do some bass fishing, and I did that, and I was like, "Fuck this."
All right.
Yeah.
And I haven't been on a fucking boat for fun since.
So say you got a family friend who does want to invite you out for a fun old-fashioned family weekend. What would you rather do? I mean, go out to a ranch and hang out, like drive four-wheelers and shoot guns?
I mean, I would pick that over boats for sure. I mean, for me, I do what I enjoy, which is bikes and cars.
It's true.
I mean, I don't need somebody to invite me. I mean, Matt and I invite each other. There's other dudes in our kind of crew, so to speak, that will invite us out to do drives or we'll go to car meets. But yeah, I mean, that's what I do when I have the time because that's what I enjoy doing. I mean, to me, getting on a really capable motorcycle or driving a very capable car, especially if there's a few other people that I'm riding or driving around with, to me, that's my funnest hobby / pastime right now at this point in my life.
Yeah, that's going to be more fun than a jet ski any day. Yeah. Huh. Matt, any...
No, I'm pretty much there. If it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I'm just not going to do it.
We should all be so lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not luck.
You don't do what you don't want to do.
You make that decision every time you do.
I mean, yeah, we should all be so lucky to choose to live our lives like you guys do. Like, do what you want and live the way you like. Shit, good for you. Yeah.
No, I mean, my point, that isn't luck, though.
That's true.
My wife be like, we're going to dinner with this couple. No, we ain't. You are. Bitch, I ain't.
Yeah, you can go. I'm not going.
Yeah. I ain't doing it.
Okay, we got to go visit my parents. No. Like, knock yourself out. I'm not doing it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of that is age. I mean, when I was your age, I did way more shit that I didn't want to do than I do now. I think you just get to a point where, like, once you start to feel mortality creep in more and more, you realize time is even more precious of a commodity, and you value it even more. And when you value it even more, you decrease the things that take up your time that you don't want to do because it's a waste. You know, and like to me, yeah, there's very, very few things now that I do that I don't want to do. I mean, there still are some, but not fucking many.
Yeah. Same.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. All right, guys. We out. Peace, bitches. Oh, I didn't tell them to follow us on all the shit.
I'm still rolling. You got time.
Yeah. Follow us on all the shit. iTunes, all the blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. Say we need to have a voiceover right there. But follow us on anywhere where you can find a podcast. Uninfluenced. Bye, bitches.